Deliverance.
For deliverance. Like I said, I don't need to. I'm a man of God also. And I also do deliverance. Why should I go to another man's ministry? But I thank God that I had that mind, that spirit in me that I could obey the voice of the Lord. So that day I was praying and the Lord said, go to that conference. So I went to this conference. The man of God was teaching. The first day I went there, he was teaching about the covenant of the umbilical cord. And now, why I said, I think this one knows what I'm going through. My umbilical cord had been taken to Tanzania in the port when I was born. And I kept going there every year to do a ritual in that place where it was. So I knew something about it. But then I didn't know how to get delivered from that covenant. So this man teaches about it and teaches about it the first day. And then he says, by the way, I'm not going to pray for anyone. I'm going to teach deliverance. I'm not going to do deliverance.
So he taught deliverance.
I'm going to teach the source, the cause, things. So I'm going to teach for 7 days. And on the 7th day, I'll pray for you. So I am in the conference and the Lord speaks to me, say, 7 days. You're not going home. You're not going back to the church. You're going to the prayer mountain. So from the conference, go to the prayer mountain, pray through the night. Into the day, come back to the conference. Now, the prayer mountain in Kampala, in Uganda, is like a bush. And I didn't have money to pay for like a room. So I had to sleep in the bush. You know, my mother slept in the bush the first 7 days. So I go to the bush, I go to the prayer mountain, praying. I'm praying. Then during the day, I come to the conference to study. Then in the evening, I walk back to the prayer mountain and pray for 7 days. So on the 7th day, I'm ready. The man of God is going to pray for us and release us. Then he says, by the way, I have not dealt with everything. I am going to teach another 7 days. And then as I'm going home, then the Lord said, no, don't go home. Go back to prayer mountain. Now, that prayer mountain is the prayer mountain of Apostle John Malindi.
Oh, that was his prayer. Was he the one doing the deliverance?
No,
another minister.
Another minister is called Bishop Joshua really. So I go to the mountain another 7 nights. Now, that's when I said, okay. The other woman, my mother, went to the forest of evil for 14 nights.
14 nights.
Now the Lord is causing me to be on the mountain of the Lord for 14 nights in prayer. This time in prayer to undo the covenant and sacrifice of the 14 nights she was in the forest. So on the 14th day, the man, there are people that, he's not shouting. It's not kind of, fire, I break. No. He's teaching, and I'm wondering.
Is it like John Malindi style? Very, very calm and chill.
He's teaching truth, and every day, like, things are deep, but truth that it's not like, let's attack the devil.
Yeah.
So in my heart, I'm saying, this one, there's no power. I'm like that pride. So on the 14th day, he says, okay, I've finished teaching. Then he says, Father, deliver them. Like that, deliver them in Jesus' name. Pray the simple prayer. I was sitting in the back. I don't know what happened. The power of God pulled me from the back and threw me on the altar.
From the back, you were thrown to the front.
The front. And now, actually the whole church was praying for me for almost 2 hours.
Because you were manifesting.
I was manifesting. Now the pastor is manifesting. You see? So I'm manifesting demons. And people, everyone, and the kind of, and that's 10 years.
10 years from the time you've been rescued and delivered, and you had a measure of deliverance with the lady that was discipling you.
Yeah. But now there's this deep one, had to be dealt by an authority. Because now this man is like a father in the land. So they're praying for me, and it's 10 years. I'm in ministry. I have been saved for 10 years, but I'm still bound somewhere. My soul is trapped. So they pray for me for like 2 hours. I'm screaming, they're fighting, and then I come down. Then after praying, I realize in my pocket, there's something. So I say, what's in my pocket? I check. What is in my pocket? The dry umbilical cord.
What?
Now, scientifically, I don't know how it moved
wait.
from
Okay, this is gonna blow the minds of Western minds.
Yes.
The umbilical cord was buried in a village in the forest in Tanzania, and you knew where that place was.
So I go there
During the deliverance, it appeared in your pocket.
in my pocket in Kampala. So it appears in my pocket. I look at it. I can tell this is an umbilical, a dry one. You could see it's dry. I just said, God has delivered me. God, thank you, Jesus. So I got it. I didn't throw it away. Let me go home and burn it. So I go home where I was sleeping. I was living. 14 days I was away from. I had a room, a small room. I was staying alone. One of the members of the church had given me a room where to stay, like as like help because I couldn't afford a house. So I go back to my house where I have not been for 14 nights. So I want to go back. I've been sleeping out. I want to go, but I'm celebrating. So I go into my room, open my room, and go to sleep. Then on my bed, I find a dead python. Dead on my bed. And I knew this is the python that breastfed me as a child. So I don't know where it came from, but it was
Right there on your bed.
but it was mentoring me. So I'm delivered in the church. I go back
And the sign was there right there on your bed.
under my bed and it's dead. So I call the people around in the city, they pull it out, I get in the umbilical cord, we burn them, and and then it goes away. Then I know I'm delivered.
That marks the end.
The end. And what proved that? Then after some time, I go back to the girl who refused me. I say, sister, will you still marry me? She said, I'll go and pray about it. She went. After a few days, she came and said, yes. And now she's my wife.
And now you've been married for how long?
Now we've been married for 12 years.
Wow. Look at that.
So she's my wife now. And that's the sign that I was delivered because now I could stay in marriage.
Yeah.
I could marry and I could see the ministry now start growing. And
Yes.
so after that, 2012, when I was delivered I got married in 2011. Then 4 years down the road, my testimony goes out in the nations.
And that's when I heard about it.
That's when you heard about it.
We are recording it. But you know what? I'm going to get to pray for people watching before we wrap up. But something really amazing I found out as we were coming to this place to record is, well, for those watching this in the future, today, it's July 2023. However, your mother just got saved last month.
Actually, last month on 12th.
12th of June 2023. So you led her to the Lord after all these years.
Actually, my father passed on last year. And this year, I made up my mind to fast and pray for my mother to get saved. I felt like, let me say this. Deep in my spirit, I felt something, the work was not complete. I felt my mother knew something and she had to renounce it before. And, of recent, I could see she was losing her mind and going back when she had that mental breakdown. And I kept saying, Lord, this woman is going to die. But I feel there's something she has, for me to go forward, something has to be done. So I began fasting and praying. And the Lord said, oh, now go and talk to her. So I went, I got her. We went to where my father was in the village where he was buried. I sat with her as a son and we began talking. And I said, Mom, God has revealed to me, you did this, you didn't tell me. You did this, you didn't tell me. You did this.
So these are different things to what she'd already told you.
Yeah.
So this is some other things.
And she doesn't know that I know them.
But you received them by revelation.
By revelation, recently, actually, at the beginning of this year. So I hear what she did and other things. Say, Mom, you didn't tell me this. You did this to me. You did this to my father. You did this to all of us. This is what you did. But now you need to confess this. And then she said, how did you know? That's a secret. I said, but the Lord has revealed that, I'm a man of God. You've come to my church, you've been in my meetings. He said, yes. So this is what you did. This is what needs to be done. You need to confess this. And I'm there and he says, okay, I did that. I didn't know, but I thought I was helping you. I thought I was helping the family. How can I undo that? Because I see all your sisters, what they're going through, and I see how your father died. I know this is what I did. So I lead her into confession. And after confessing, I tell her, do you want to believe the Lord? She accepts. She gives her life to Jesus. And when she accepted that, there's something, when she accepted that, I heard the Lord say, now you are free to go to the nations and do my work.
Wow.
I'm surprised that now this recording is happening now because I've been sharing my testimony. I've never recorded it like we are. I've never. And I knew. Now, when that happened, no wonder now this time these messages now because it's complete now.
And that was just last month. And here we are recording.
And so it was last month because she had to do confessions, what she did, how she covenanted, and to undo it. So I led her in that prayer. We